Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Groveside Chats. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all are having a great day today. Actually, you're not tuning in because we're recording this, and this is not a live stream, but this is a podcast for your Ole Miss Rebels. We actually had a football game yesterday. What do you think about that, Christian?
It was interesting.
Speak in the microphone.
I am speaking in the microphone.
It was interesting. What was your takeaway from the game yesterday?
Offensive line looked a little better.
I think a lot of that had to do with Nick Broker being put in at left tackle, and he looked better than Mike Howard. Nothing against Mike Howard. Mike Howard hustled and played hard, but you did see the offensive line moving better. We did move Howard to right tackle a little bit during the game, and the team seemed to adjust well to that. But other than that, the takeaway, though, Ole Miss, we played Arkansas. We won 31-17. Matt Corral had a pretty good game. I mean, he showed some light where he could really light up the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where he could just make big plays. I mean, he put a couple of passes to Moore that were right on the money. Threw a couple of them, that, like in the first quarter, those first two passes, the one to Moore was way behind. Then the one to Drummond should have caught. No, it was Mingo.
I mean, that was a tough thing.
It was Drummond. Drummond should have caught it.
That was a tough catch for Drummond, but he still should have caught it.
Hit both hands. Should have caught it, but Corral could have thrown that one better.
Mingo's got to. I mean, come on, man. You got to catch that.
Sorry for the loud noise. We're live at Cups Espresso Cafe in Jackson, Mississippi on Lakeland Drive. If you need coffee or caffeination needs, stop by Cups.
Sponsored
They're
right
not
now.
a sponsor. We're just giving them free advertisement because we want you to know that the noise you hear in the background is the espresso machine. The Buccaneers just got a first down pass from Jameis Winston. I'm currently watching Red Zone on my laptop as well.
Yeah, but the game, I feel it was good atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty lit. That was probably one of the most fun home games I've been to in a long time, since probably 2016 Georgia game, maybe.
Oh, that game was fun. 45-14. The in-game...
Students were really engaging until the after halftime, but they always leave after halftime.
They enjoyed the Firefest tents.
And
but I really did. I did think the atmosphere was great yesterday. I thought that the in-game
pregame.
Go ahead.
Pregame was. The band was a little better. It still needs some work.
Play Dixie. I'm kidding.
Yeah, they're never gonna play Dixie. I like how, during TV timeouts, they weren't playing ads for 10 minutes or however long that TV timeout was.
They did light shows. They had good music. They made sure that the lights were in sync with the music. You saw the lights were moving to the beat of the music. People were really getting into it. The music selection was good.
They were showing BYU upsetting, or not really upsetting, Tennessee. Everybody in the vault was
we erupted.
Cheering.
It was awesome. But I will say that the breaks, the commercials, the TV timeouts, and all that stuff.
It made everything go faster.
The in-game atmosphere was great because of how they changed it up, how they changed up the dynamic of what they were going to do. They didn't do, last year they would have a lot of people on the field, Billy Joe and George Sue contributed $10 to the women's basketball team. Let's give them a round of applause.
Stick to the Babson Hospital or cancer thing.
Yeah, that's good.
And the military appreciation.
Oh, I love that.
You always got to do that.
That was actually the perfect timing for that, too, because that was right after we had turned the ball over. And Arkansas got a lucky score. Yeah. Then they did the military appreciation. So no one's going to be screw that. We're all all right, well, we'll put that aside and thank this guy for his service. But I really did think that the I don't know what you would call it, the in-game whatever. My vocabulary is bad today.
Yeah, it's all good.
But the video board and the in-game presentations were really good. They were really impressive. Much better than last year. They still did the chip off the old block. But it was good because it was Thomas Dillard. I like that feature. But let's get back to the game. We've kind of gone all over the place a little bit. What do you think about the defense?
It was still good. They were good last week. Except fourth quarter, they need to fight through the fatigue a little bit. I know it's kind of hard to. And they kind of got a little lazy
I think
tackling. But, I mean, it's whatever. I hate we gave up that garbage touchdown that made it 31-17. But
was that Kedron who gave that up? I think it was Kedron. He should have turned around.
Great catch by the Arkansas wide receiver, by the way.
Yeah, Kedron should have turned. I think it was Kedron.
Starkville made a good pass that fade.
I'm glad they didn't start him. I'm really glad they didn't start him because Matt Luke said they didn't game plan any differently. I was reading some of the post game. Mm-hmm. He said they didn't game plan any differently for Starkville than they did for Hicks. I think Hicks is more talented. You can see
he was number 2. He was ranked number 2 quarterback. Maybe I don't know what number 2 quarterback, but he was pretty.
It was 24/7.
Yeah, he was
247.
recruited really
Well, you
very
can
well.
see Hicks has the arm talent, and he has like running abilities, and he has it there, but we just put him on his butt a few times and got to his head. Starkel's bigger; he sees over the line better, and he just kind of gashes to the middle. And I don't know if all of that was on Starkel. I think a lot of that was coaching, because you make halftime adjustments. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Starkel was the starting quarterback for Arkansas, continuing on through the year. I don't think Hicks has what it takes as of now. He could develop, but Starkel was definitely the better quarterback yesterday for them. And Raheem Boyd, I think the big key was stopping the run, and I put that in my 5 keys for the game is stopping the run, making them pass the ball. You remember that. You put it on our Groveside Chats Twitter. Follow us at Chats Groveside on Twitter.
Yes.
But that was one of my 5 takeaways. One of my 5 keys to winning the game was that we have to force him to pass the ball. And we did. We really stopped Raheem Boyd. Andy Dalton winded up, and touchdown Bengals.
You know they got really desperate when they were doing, let's see, it was the Wild Hog, and then they did that reverse pass.
Oh, my gosh, where the receiver didn't even throw it and ran backwards like 18 yards.
That's when you know they were getting a little
and they
desperate
still ended up almost getting a first down.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
But, of course, that targeting call, I'm glad they reversed it. They should have never called targeting to begin with.
Refs
and I'm glad they overturned it. And I'm glad they looked at the spot of the ball, too, and saw that he was short. Because, his knee was way down before he didn't lunge or have forward progress or anything. Speaking of forward progress, what did you think about the call to not call Octavius Cooley down?
I think it should have been blown dead, but maybe Cooley didn't have complete possession of the ball, and that's why they maybe didn't call it dead. But I don't know. I'd have to go back and look on the TV.
I watched. He was down. I mean, there's no
they should have
forward progress.
That play really made me mad.
I could have eaten a steak and potato dinner in the time that Cooley had his forward progress stopped.
I mean, one play Arkansas, their running back from Last Chance U,
Raheem Boyd.
They were in that big swarm.
Ooh.
And the O-line were trying to, drive him to get more yardage. They were not going to call that
They didn't move him. It was like a moratorium for 30 minutes and no whistle blown. And one thing, too, I will say it was officiating malpractice. Greg Sankey ought to be ashamed of himself for allowing what happened last night to take place. Number 78, the right tackle for Arkansas, held. Watch Sam Williams and Kadir Shepard.
I kind of got a Bradley Soul vibe from him because he kept jumping off sides almost every couple of possessions.
Wow, actually a good pass from Jameis for once. Sorry, I'm watching Red Zone, too, while doing this podcast. Keep it up with the games. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are driving. Oh, my gosh, they're in the Red Zone. Pick him off, Giants. Dadgummit. Easy. Too easy. But, well, it really ticked me off. Oh, my gosh. It really ticked me off that they didn't call holding once. They didn't call it once on Arkansas. And the guy was holding all game, grabbing the back of Sam Williams' jersey. By the way, Big Sam looked good. He looked good. He's a quarterback killer. Him and Shepard coming off the edge looked good. I didn't see Tisdale much yesterday. He's kind of undersized, but he's a good outside linebacker if he builds up that speed. Because last he was running like a 4.6, which isn't bad for his position, but he can bump that up a little bit. We might be playing him a good bit more now that Momo's gone. Momo will be out for a long portion of time, according to Matt Luke. I think the ankle may be broken. So keep him in your prayers. That's not good. We want him to be playing. But Jaquez Jones and Luke Knox did a good job filling in the gap last time. I mean, they looked good.
Now, did Ben Brown start on the O-line last week?
Yeah, he started.
Okay, because it seemed like starting one of those offensive linemen kind of made a difference. But I don't know. It might have been the same lineup.
It was Broker. Putting Broker in at left tackle that made the big difference.
Okay, because
the freshman from Wisconsin. He was good. He looked like the best lineman on the team last night. I mean, he was moving his guy back, creating space for Scotty. And let's give a shout-out to Scotty Phillips, man. I was torn on who I thought should be player of the game between Scotty Phillips and Elijah Moore.
I still think Elijah.
I don't know, man. That cutback Elijah did to swoop the defender away and score that touchdown was awesome. But Scotty made some big plays, too. Shout-out to him. I mean, he made it. How many? He had 156 rushing yards?
That touchdown run that pretty much sealed the game when he was putting all his effort into that run or whatnot. And
that one where they called him down, I thought he was in the end zone before that knee touch, but it doesn't matter. He still scored anyway. Still scored anyway. I thought Elijah Moore was good route running. I'm still hopeful. No, get him. I'm still hopeful about Drummond. Drummond looked good, man. He showed some insane athleticism. That offensive pass interference they called on him was ridiculous. I thought that was nuts. But on the other end, I really thought that that touchdown pass he caught was good. His route running looked pretty good. I think he has a good high ceiling for the team. I want to see Braylon Sanders has been battling injury, but I do want to see him kind of blossom some this year. I want to see Demarcus Gregory and Miles Battle play more too.
He really didn't get many touches last night.
Sanders?
No, Gregory.
Gregory didn't play much at all last night.
I wish they would let him play a little bit more, but he's still trying to
But
develop.
hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
We did good. We moved the ball all game on Arkansas. I mean, they really didn't do much to us. Corral made a couple of questionable decisions, and Corral needs to learn when to throw the ball away. Like, you cannot try to
tuck the ball when you're gonna run,
and you have to tuck it. You can't fumble it like that. But excuse me. But you gotta be able to throw that ball away too. Don't get killed trying to get 1 or 2 yards, unless it's 3rd and 1. But if it's 1st and 10, it's okay for it to be 2nd and 10. I don't like it to be 2nd and 10, but if it's a designed pass play and you're getting flushed out of the pocket and there's no receiver open, don't try. And you see a linebacker coming towards you, just throw that thing away. Because if they hit you, that's a 15-yard penalty, 1st down. And I'm thankful that Arkansas bailed us out of that one where the guy just ripped Corral's face mask off. Arkansas did help us out a little bit. They had that one big play, but it was an illegal man downfield. We helped them out too, fumbling the ball, and then it somehow lands in their guy's hands, and he runs back for a touchdown, which, of course, that should have been down by contact, but it is what it is. Overall, I'm hopeful about the team. I'm scared. I'm scared for the Cal game, dog.
Overall, this performance against Arkansas, I'd probably give it a
7.5.
From a A to a D or F or whatnot, I'd probably give it, let's say,
C+.
B minus, C plus. Yeah.
I'd say C+. Secondary still needs to be polished.
Secondary has always been garbage at Ole Miss.
They weren't garbage. They weren't, because the first half they were awesome.
Yes.
The first half they were awesome. They were making big plays. We weren't getting in the backfield.
Jalen, man, you gotta bat that ball down.
Yeah, you can't let them get a big play right there. But the second, at least they had to settle for a field goal. No, I think that was one of the touchdown drives. Yeah, it was a touchdown drive. My memory is shot. But secondary was great first half, but we did blitz more in the second half, and so that created open space for some of their receivers because we were rushing the edge linebackers. Come on, DK, you got to catch that ball. But yeah, so secondary doesn't need to be getting worn down that much, and we can play some zone too, especially if they're not running it down our throats. I mean, Raheem Boyd didn't run it down our throats. We game planned well to stop him and contain him. The offense was okay. It still can be better. Some of the play calling can be better. We ran the same play on 2nd down every single drive. That delayed handoff up the middle to Scotty. You can't do that every 2nd down. Saban will tear that apart.
Yeah.
Even Coach O will tear that apart. And they have the personnel to do it. The special teams is awful. Special teams
whoever's
is horrible.
our kicker for the kickoff, you need to get better, man. Cause
it's
bad.
It's inexcusable to barely be able to get the ball to the 15. To barely get it to the 15. I mean, you have kickers all over the country who are getting it out of the back of the end zone every single time. And it's dangerous because these guys are getting to the 40, to the 45. We don't need to give up big returns because we want to give our defense as much cushion as possible. Even though they have been playing much better, we don't want them to get killed, and we don't want them to have on a short field every single drive. And punting needs to be better too. I think we polished it up a little bit. That last punt that Brown punted wasn't bad. It was actually a good punt because Lakia Henry was right there. He just missed the tackle. But we missed tackles on those special teams plays too. They'll go through 3 or 4 guys before they even get down on punt returns. So special teams needs a lot of work, a lot of work. Offensive line, I think we fixed that problem to a certain degree. I mean, it's not going to be totally fixed as long as Eli Johnson and Royce Newman are starting. I mean, those guys, God bless them. They play hard. They mean well. They're just not SEC linemen. I mean, Eli Johnson's there by default. He's there because we needed a center. I mean, we were really bleeding, missing Sean Rawlings. I mean, we don't realize how blessed we were to have Patterson, Rawlings, Little, and Givens played. He played some last night. He's still limited. And then I'm trying to think of who the other O-lineman was. Oh, Ben Brown. But Ben Brown's back. He looked good. So we still got to work on that offensive line. I think Rich Rod did a good job getting Corral out of the pocket more and allowing him to create those plays. Corral's got to be more accurate on those throws. He can't be throwing it at people's legs. Can't be throwing it in the traffic. And he can't be taking big hits out of bounds or in the backfield. Throw the ball away if you need to. Corral's still a work in progress. He looked really good at certain points yesterday. And so I'm very hopeful on what he can do and what his ceiling is. but he's just got to get his head in the game. Got to get it together. Of course, it's good that he's got a stable of running backs. And what do you think about Snoop Connor yesterday? Snoop.
Yeah, he looked good.
Poor Woolard.
Yeah, I kind of wish Will would get a little bit more playing time, but I feel like
why would he though? You got Ely and Snoop.
Snoop's better.
Dude,
than
Ely looked good, dude. Ely showed some flashes of speed.
Yes.
But man, we gotta play him at slot. We got so many slot receivers. I did like how we tried to get Tyler Knight in it a little bit. We got that one big pass to him. Arkansas's defender just made a heck of a play to deflect it.
Oh yeah.
But I do want to see Tyler Knight and Ely playing in that slot a little bit more because I like those guys. They're good athletes and they're from the area where I'm from. So I would pull for them. Oh gosh, Jimmy Garoppolo just threw a pick six.
Yeah, that's pretty much our game recap with a mixture of position breakdowns a little bit.
I think offensive MVP of yesterday was a tie between Elijah Moore and Scotty Phillips.
Defensively, oh shoot, I don't know. They were all.
Who would you say defensive MVP was yesterday? I'd say Sam Williams, man. Big Sam was getting in the backfield all game, putting both quarterbacks on their butts. I'd give it to Big Sam. And I'll give props to Luke Knox for returning that fumble and showing poise out there. I like him. I
think he's going to be good because he's trying to prove.
He's a freshman too.
He's trying to prove himself early because he's just so young. I don't think he really got recruited that hard by anybody.
I mean, he kind of came to Ole Miss a little bit by default because of Dawson and the team. It wasn't like the team was doing them a favor because he's a good linebacker, but it wasn't like Bama, Auburn, LSU, or even Arkansas were like scrambling to get him. Like he was ours to take. And so I'm glad we have him, though. He's got a lot of charisma. So that's pretty much the takeaway from yesterday's game. The offense was okay, can still improve. Play calling can do better. The receivers were getting some separation, but they got to catch that ball. I do think Mingo is a star in the making. And I want to see Miles Battle more because Miles Battle is going to be a stud, too. We got the guys. That's good. We got the stable.
For defense, yeah, I get it. Fatigue's a problem in the fourth quarter, but still got to try to tackle better instead of using your shoulder pads or whatnot because they were just bouncing off our tackles in the fourth quarter.
So what do you want to see next week? We got Southeast Louisiana, the mighty Southeast Louisiana.
Well, I'll be able to watch the game on TV, but because I got something to do that night.
I won't be there either.
I hope we blow them out, and then we let the other three freshman quarterbacks get some reps and real game time. That's what I really want to see. And see Gregory get.
Speaking of throwing the ball away, Kyler Murray cannot take a 15-yard sack like that. You gotta throw that ball away,
and see Gregory get some more touches, maybe.
Yeah, I do want to see the other quarterbacks what they're made of too. Like I want to see Tisdale, and I really want to see John Rice Plumlee, and heck, Kincaid Dent too. Jackson, boy, I like him, nice guy. But I want to see those two guys, or those three guys, get in the mix some. I want to see the other receivers play. And I want to see Woolard get some touches, too, because I like Woolard. He's a good guy. He was a good player for us when Scotty was hurt last year, but I'm glad he's our fourth because that means that Snoop is really stepped up. I mean, he looked awesome. I want to see some of the defenders. I want to see the secondary start to play better in position because they'll be going against athletes who are inferior to them, so they'll be able to read the quarterback better, and they'll be able to turn around, make plays on the ball. I want to see some turnovers. I want to see some interceptions. I want to see just a big blowout, but I want to see the team cohesive. I want to see them gelling. It's a tune-up game. It's not a game where we're trying to prove anything. It's a tune-up. We're trying to get our guys in the rotation. I mean, we may win that game like 38-13, and that's fine because we may not be playing those starters the whole game. We're just trying to get everybody in and see what matchup fits best. I did like how Rich Rod was not afraid to shake up the line a little bit yesterday and play a little chess with it.
Rich Rod needs to make better play calls at the beginning of the game,
yeah,
in my opinion, because
it was too predictable at some point.
It's so predictable and sluggish, and we can't get into a rhythm right away, and we're just going 3 and out for like 36 seconds. It needs to get better.
So that's pretty much the takeaway from the game and what we want to see next week. And then the week after that, we've got Cal. And if you guys didn't see, Cal just beat Washington last night.
Well, Jacob Easton
was awful.
It's terrible. He's
Georgia cut him for a reason. Like they kept the best quarterback. One of the arguments I heard on some of the shows is like, what if Georgia got rid of the wrong quarterback and they kept the right one? Well, getting rid of Easton wasn't the wrong move. The verdict's still out on Justin Fields, but I don't blame them for getting rid of Justin Fields and keeping Fromm. Fromm's been the guy. I mean, Fromm took him to the playoff, for goodness sakes. You can't fault him. So that's pretty much all for the Ole Miss sports section of today's show. I want to give you guys, we had NFL football this week. So, go ahead. You got something to say?
No, I don't. I'm good.
Okay. We had NFL kickoff Thursday night, and we've got some games going on right now and some games that have gone on. The Packers and Bears played Thursday night in Soldier Field. The Bears actually erected a new statue for Walter Payton, which is awesome, a Jackson, Mississippi native.
Trubisky looked like pants that
Yeah,
night.
Trubisky looked awful. Trubisky is not a good quarterback, but it's criminal. It is criminal. It's kind of like us. It's criminal. We have so much talent on offense, but that line is struggling, and our defense looks good now. I mean, we could be a good team. We could be a spoiler team. Like, we could, compete against an A&M or an Auburn. I'm not saying we will, but we can. We can play spoiler on those teams, and I really hope we beat the dog crap out of Mississippi State. I want to see them. I want to take them down so badly. I wish Southern Miss had played better than they did yesterday. But let's get to the NFL. The Packers beat the Bears 10-3. Not a surprise. Aaron Rodgers did just good enough. Both quarterbacks looked bad. Both defenses looked good. The Chiefs, in a non-surprising move, beat the Jaguars 40-26. Jaguars would have been more competitive in that game, but Nick Foles got hurt early with a shoulder injury. And so Gardner Minshew came in there and had to finish the deal. Good old Brandon, Mississippi boy, proud of him. 200-something passing yards, 2 touchdowns, looked good. The Vikings, I mean, they looked impressive today. They looked really good. They dog-stomped the Falcons 28-12. Matt Ryan did not look good. Julio didn't show up. Neither did Calvin Ridley or Sanu, and then Devontae Freeman didn't look good. And in a not surprising game, actually it was really surprising. Everybody thought the Browns were going to be the next big thing. Yeah, how about a 30-point loss to the Titans? The Titans beat them 43-13. NFL Reb A.J. Brown showed out, had a couple of good catches, has 14 points on my fantasy football bench. And on my other league, not the Grove Side Chats league. I need to check my score on that one. The Bills surprisingly upset the Jets. We both picked the Jets that game. They beat them 17-16. I don't know any stats on Dawson Knox if he played or not, so I'll have to check. The Ravens, in a non-surprising move, murdered the Dolphins. Rest in peace, Dolphins. 59-10 was the score.
We both had the Ravens winning. At least I had the Ravens.
Oh yeah, beat me too. The Eagles.
I had the Eagles winning that game.
I did too, but in a surprising form, the Redskins were winning most of that game, and the Eagles had to come back from behind. I mean, they were down 17-0 at one point, and the Eagles did not look good today. They came alive in the second half. Wentz kind of got it together, but that was a tough one. But the Eagles pulled it out and won. The Rams beat the Panthers on the road in Charlotte, which is a big win. Cam Newton looked average, didn't look great today. And that score was 30-27. Right now, we've got games going on. The Colts are down to the Chargers 17-6. The Colts would have 7 points, but they missed a PAT, which is shocking from Vinatieri. The Seahawks are beating the Bengals 13-10. DK almost had a touchdown, but it was pass interference. He couldn't get to the ball. The Cowboys, unfortunately, are up 14-7 on the Giants. Eli Manning and Evan Ingram did score a touchdown earlier. Good pass by Eli to Evan Ingram. Saquon Barkley's been showing out. Hopefully the Giants can take over and win that ball game. Buccaneers are leading the 49ers 7-3. Not a surprising game at all. I think both of those teams are going to be in the basement this year. I think the 49ers are overrated. The defense is okay. I think the Jimmy Garoppolo is overrated. And the Lions are currently up 10-0 on the Cardinals. And tonight we have Sunday Night Football. My Pittsburgh Steelers take on the New England Patriots in Foxborough. We're a 3-point underdog, and I got the Steelers +3 if you like to bet, if you're old enough to bet. Most of you are not old enough to bet. We have 12-year-old followers. Love you guys.
Who cares?
One of y'all recognized me yesterday. Whoever you were at the stadium yesterday who recognized me, DM us, tell us, hey, we'll get you some merch if we ever get merch. But I have the Steelers winning tonight's game. I think Big Ben goes off. I think the Patriots, especially since the Patriots just signed Antonio Brown, we're going to be playing with an extra chip on our shoulder. We're going to shut out that noise. Moncrief's going to have a touchdown tonight. Hopefully, I'm wearing my Juju jersey, but my opponent in fantasy football has him, so hopefully he has 0 touchdowns tonight, but has a great game. Good effort. Tomorrow night, we got the Texans at the Saints. I think that'll be an interesting game. I do think the Saints win that ball game, though, but I do think Deshaun Watson and I can't even think of his name right now. Wide receiver for the Texans. What's his name? DeAndre Hopkins. Thank you. I think they have some chemistry. I was given no help on that one, but I didn't need it. But I do think they have good chemistry. They'll get it together. The Texans' defense is good, but I do think the Saints win that ball game strictly because they're the home team, and I trust Drew Brees. The Raiders, RIP, take on the Broncos. I think the Raiders get humiliated by the Broncos tomorrow night, and that program burns to the ground. Poor guys. They really messed up, man. They should not have gotten rid of Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack last year. And I don't think Gruden's an NFL-capable coach anymore. I mean, he's so old and out of the system for so long. I think the Monday Night Football and the college quarterback
And if I was
evaluation
Raiders,
was good.
If I was the Raiders GM, I would have released Antonio Brown as soon as he did that stupid helmet appeal thing and decided not to practice because of that helmet stuff.
How did we talk so long last time? It feels like we talked forever, and we've only been going for 25 minutes. But last week we talked for like an hour, and it seemed like 5 minutes. I guess we were griping more about the Memphis game.
Yeah,
That was
But
tough.
We're still trying to. Ooh, Lord, we're still trying to figure out like a structure of how to do this.
Yeah,
it's still
we'll get it
a work
together, though.
It's still a work in progress. I was giving some advice, like we each watch a game, we take notes, and then we each talk about that specific game and give our breakdown, what we saw. You know, maybe we could try that.
I watch every game, so I'll have evaluations.
I watch pretty much every game, but this Saturday, I don't know if I'll be able to this Saturday.
I'll be watching games, so I'll take notes. You'll get to hear from me more than Christian, but Christian will be on the live wire too. All right, guys.
I'd probably just do like one of the early games or whatnot.
What have you been listening to lately, music wise? We'll do an entertainment thing before we leave, before we call it.
Oh man.
What's your go-to when you get to the car and you have a decently long drive, like a drive to school? Like what's about 30 minutes from your house to school?
Yeah.
What do you listen to?
It just depends on what. I guess if I wanted to just be like a chill time, I might listen to some like movie soundtracks, video game soundtracks, or something just to like hear some instrumental stuff.
I like that.
And I have this playlist called like "Keep Your Eyes Down the Road," like so I'll stay focused on the road instead of like trying to pick a song or whatnot. That's like a mixture of like pop, rock, worship, music, all that good stuff.
That's good. Yeah, I like to listen to classic rock. I'm a big fan of great.
2 artists that I listened to came out with new albums
Tool.
last Friday.
Who was it?
Post Malone and Melanie Martinez. Yeah.
Tool dropped a new album recently, and I liked it. I'm not a big fan of today's music. Y'all will not lie. Do not listen to rap. I don't listen to modern day pop. I don't even listen to modern day country. I think it's all garbage. It lacks harmony. It lacks real music. Lacks real instruments. They have to hire people who they don't even know to play their music for them. I think that's a scam. I like bands like the Eagles, Grateful Dead, Motley Crue. People that had their own. They had their own musicians.
Oh yeah, I do enjoy listening to classical rock.
I listen to
too.
superior music to you, Christian. I'm kidding. But I like the classics. I like to jam. I was listening to Eagles on the way over here to do the podcast. And I was listening to some NFL stuff, too. Hope you all have a great day. That's pretty much it for today's show, Groveside Chats. We'll be live Tuesday night on Instagram. Follow us at Groveside Chats there. We'll be live to discuss the Monday Night Football and what happened in fantasy football in the NFL. If you had Marquise Brown or Sammy Watkins on your bench, I had one of those guys, Sammy Watkins, on your bench in fantasy football today. I'm sorry. My prayers go out to you and your families. God bless you. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're going to still try to figure out how to make these like really long.
Yeah.
But it's still a work in progress.
We're going to start introducing guests on the show too. We're going to start having people that from other like allegiances to other schools. I've already got some guys from Mississippi State, some guys from Southern Miss, and some guys from one guy from Auburn who are interested in talking about their teams too. But it'd be cool to have a conversation with people.
Yes.
Christian cringed when I said Mississippi State, but it's good to be friends with the enemy. Like Green Day said, do you know the enemy? And you got to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So we got to be close to the Mississippi State folk. We got to love them too because they need help. I'm just kidding. Y'all have a great day. God bless you. George Kittle touchdown, 49ers. Later, y'all.